stretch. Watch what he did on this night. Bryant's getting the tough turnaround jumper to go for his 34th point of the night, and it came in the second period of play. More of the same early second half from Kobe. He pulls up, uses the head fake, hits the jumper. Lakers in complete control. Later in the third period, more from Bryant, this time driving the lane en route to an NBA season-high 51 points, and get this, Kobe sat out the last 13 minutes of the game. One night after losing to Utah in overtime, Houston went out to beat the Jazz on Thursday, and they did so behind Steve Francis. At one end, it's Yao Ming with a big block. At the other end, Francis putting down 2 of his game-high 36 points. Fourth period, Yao went to work on the defensive end with a tough reverse lay-in and the foul. And the Chinese rookie with a turnaround fadeaway in the lane. Yao with 15.6 rebounds as the Rockets snap an 11-game losing streak at Utah's Delta Center. The ball in the closing seconds of regulation, and there's St. Louis guard Mark Perry tipping it away to give his team the possession, and then Perry gets the ball back, uses the head fake, and puts down what would be the game winner for St. Louis. The Billikens knock off the Cardinals. Perry gets the play of the day. For more points, he was looking for another one of those nights, Friday against San Antonio, and by the first half, he had already put down 24 points. There's a jumper over Steve Kerr. A little later, watch as Bryant makes the amazing shot over Bruce Bowen. More from Kobe in the final period, drives, and he'll get the tough lay-in to fall. Finish the game with 44 points, but the Spurs were too tough in the end. Tim Duncan driving past O'Neal to go baseline. He dishes to Bowen for the clutch three-pointer. Then it's Frenchman Tony Parker getting the roll and the lay-in. The Spurs become the first team in NBA history to win 7 in a row, the very same road trip. Dallas Saturday in the NBA. Heat with the ball. Game tied at 68. Travis Best hits the 3. Heat's out in front. A little later, the Mavs take the lead. Nick Van Exel with the tough jumper. He draws the foul. Mavs out in front by 1. Would they look back? Not if Dirk Nowitzki had his hand in it. 25 points for the big German. Mavs up their lead. The Heat stayed close. It's again Best with another three-pointer. This one from way out. Miami down by only 6 with under 2 minutes to play. They put it away thanks to Nowitzki. Dallas becomes the first team this season to reach the 40-win plateau. We're right back with the World Sport Play of the Day. Opening half, the Wildcats push the ball up court, but USC's Jerry Dupree steals it away and heaves up the half-court shot that beats the buzzer. In the end, the Trojans lost the game, but Dupree at least came away with the play of the day.
Fourth quarter tied at 70. Kidd gets his pass stolen by Iverson, and Iverson takes it down and lays it up. 76ers lead by 2. Nets next possession. Watch as Iverson causes the loose ball that leads to teammate Eric Snow's fast break layup. And the 76ers lead by 4. Less than 1 minute remaining. 76ers still leading by 4. Iverson drives the lane and kicks it out to Snow for the jumper. Iverson had 32 points, 4 assists, 5 steals. 76ers win 90-83, handing the Nets only...
...to New York without Shaquille O'Neal, who's nursing minor knee and toe injuries. Now, with Kobe on fire, that might not have been a problem, but Allen Houston was firing on all cylinders. End of the third, and the Lakers cut the deficit to 9 after a great shot from Devian George. But this guy made all the difference. Houston scored a career and NBA season high, 53 points, and Nick hasn't done that in 13 years. Otherwise, the Lakers might have won the match. Bryant scored 40, the 9th straight game where he's managed 35 points or more, but the Knicks held on for a 7-point win. Charlie Ward making sure, and the Lakers are now 3-10 without Shaq in their lineup. On the Pacific Division leader Sacramento, and on
part of the sellout crowd in Sacramento as the Kings hosted the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers off to the early start. Shaquille O'Neal puts his team up by a dozen in the opening period. Second period, more of the same. Kobe Bryant drives, and what was that? The reverse lay-in helps LA hold their double-digit lead. Turkey's Haydu Turgulu finds Gerard Wallace for the alley-oop slam, and here come the Kings. Third quarter, Kings on the run. Turgulu finds Peja Stojakovic, the Yugoslav all-star, with 36 points. Game tied at 74. Lakers' next possession. Kobe works for some space. He drains the three. Bryant had 38 of the night. Then Rick Fox went off in the fourth. That's the lay-in. He draws the foul, and then more from Fox. This off the good ball movement. He'll drain the three-pointer, and the game is out of reach. The Kings fall at home for the second straight game. Minnesota played in Houston on Friday. Seconds left in the half. Steve Francis to Yao Ming. That's a good way to finish the break, huh? Houston by 7 at halftime. Third quarter. Watch Yao get the backdoor bounce. The pass to James Posey. He puts it down with authority. The Rockets ahead by 10. Timberwolves take the ball down court. It's Kevin Garnett. Drives and past his defender for the two-hand rim rattler. And the Wolves are now back in action. Yao and the Rockets, though, would hold off the competition. Yao had 24 points in the night. His teammate Steve Francis did the rest. Minnesota turns the ball over. Francis takes it down for the reverse slam. He had 27, and the Rockets win convincingly at home. Here are all the numbers.
Toronto Raptors on Monday afternoon, but a heavy snowfall of 2 feet forced the game's postponement. It will now be played on March the 4th. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks were hoping to build on their road win in LA on Monday. They were in Portland taking on the Trail Blazers. Latrell Sprewell got 16 in this one, and Allen Houston had a quiet night by his recent standards, just 27 points for him, and that three tied it up at 53 points each. Rasheed Wallace led the Blazers with 23, and this three opened up a 4-point lead in the third quarter. Think he enjoyed it? Well, it is 8 years since Portland have swept the Knicks in the two-game season series. Bonzi Wells helped build a lead that they'd take into the last quarter, and the difference in the end was 8 points. Portland's bench carried them through the last quarter. Ruben Patterson completing an alley-oop from Jeff McInnes. It finished 99-91. The Minnesota T-Wolves had a 6-game winning streak snapped by the Utah Jazz in Salt Lake City. Karl Malone had a lot to do with it, 28 points and 9 rebounds for him. This is his 18th season in the NBA, and he outplayed Kevin Garnett in this one. Mark Jackson with the great pass to Greg Ostertag, who got the bucket and the foul. And here's an almost identical move, this time from Malone. Once again, Ostertag gets the score and the foul. Utah up 6 here. But Garnett's top scorer of 34 helped keep it close. This jumper pulled Minnesota to within 1 point in the last quarter. But yet another assist from Malone. He got 6 in all, played in John Stockton, who landed 2 of his 12, wrapping up the victory 109-97. And with Shaq on the bench, how would Yao Ming fare with no one in his face all night in the NBA? Action from that in 60 seconds. Against Yao, going to the baseline before towering over the giant Chinese center for the slam. Take another look as Yao is emphatically outclassed. More on Kobe's big night later. This one went to overtime and Yao redeemed himself. He finished up with 24 points and 14 rebounds, getting a lay-in and a foul there to give the Rockets a 4-point lead. But Kobe wouldn't leave him alone. Watch as he goes up, double clutching before banking it in and drawing the foul. Lakers still trailing, but Bryant saved this one with a turnaround jumper from the paint to square things up and force double overtime. For the record, he scored 52 points, 17 of them coming in the overtime periods, and this was the 10th consecutive game in which he scored 35 points or more. He's also managed at least 40 in the last 6 games. That's a franchise record, and the Lakers won by 104 points to 96. Kobe Bryant tries to keep his phenomenal scoring run going against the Jazz. You're watching World Sport, back right after this. This man, after receiving treatment on a troubled knee for every waking hour since his last game, Kobe Bryant scored 23 points in the first half against the Utah Jazz on Wednesday. And it was just what the Lakers needed after that double overtime win against Houston the night before. Bryant carried the Lakers right down the stretch, scoring 11 of his team's last 17 points and finishing up with 40. His 7th straight game where he scored that or more. LA are now 9-2 since his phenomenal scoring binge began. Is ticking down late in the first half. 4 seconds to go, in fact, but that's all Michael Brandes needs for his half-court shot.
Pacers and New Jersey Nets. And Nets by 7 at this point in the fourth quarter. Jason Kidd drives in, sinks the shot. In traffic. Pacers Reggie Miller now with the 3-ball from the wing. Pacers down 6. But there was too much Kidd down the stretch. Here he goes, driving in and sinking the nice layup en route to a 98-91 Nets win. San Antonio Spurs took a 9-game winning streak into the game with the Dallas Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki here with the easy slam. Mavs by 9. Third quarter. Emmanuel Ginobili gets his shot blocked. It gets it right back and goes in for the layup. Mavs Steve Nash played a big part in this contest here in the fourth. The amazing 360 lay-in. And here he is with a tough fadeaway jumper. Gets that one to go. Finally, the pull-up jumper that would seal the deal. 95-87 Mavs it ended. We're back after the break with Formula One news. However, so there were spectators when the Sonics' Radomir Radmanovic buried the 3 to put Seattle up 15. Third quarter, the Sonics again on the move, and this time it's Predrag Drobniak nailing one from outside the arc. Sonics now up 17. And the gap would only get wider. Brent Barry with another 3-ball here from deep. In a huge Sonics win, 88-58 Seattle it ended. We head to break with more NBA.
First game since arriving from Milwaukee, but it was Bryant that the crowd had come to see. For the record, these are Allen's first points for his new team. He hit 26 on the night, and the Sonics were up 4 at that stage. But step aside for Mr. Bryant. The Lakers' one-man scoring machine nailed a jumper over Allen for a 3 there. LA 5 up now, and he was relentless. Despite every Sonics player trying to prevent him scoring, Kobe just kept going. Huge support, of course, from his home crowd. But late in the fourth, he was stuck on 39. But then he was fouled by Rashard Lewis, and Bryant went to the line and sunk the free throw. He made 41 points, and the Lakers won by 5. The late Wilt Chamberlain holds the record Kobe's after of 14 straight 40 to the Boston Celtics, but it was Yao's teammate Steve Francis who stole all the headlines. He was battling a sore back, but hit 33 to help rally his team from 15 points down. Paul Pierce helped create that lead for the Celtics. Not afraid to take on Yao here. He scored 22. But the big Chinese rookie came back with a nice hook shot in the lane. Boston still 4 ahead here in the fourth. Now Francis and Coutinho Mobley combined to steal this one for Houston. The All-Star landed 33 and Mobley 31 as the pair scored 20 of the Rockets' last 22 points. That basket tied it all up at 88, forcing overtime. Boston had really lost the momentum, but Pierce trying to keep his side going. A 3 there to put the Celtics 3 points up, but the Rockets won out in the end. Mobley completed his awesome performance with a 3 as Houston took this one by 6 in overtime.
Jason Williams looking for a teammate to pass it to. He can't find one, so he uses the backboard to pass it to himself and score the hoop. You talk about using your head. Williams earned the creative World Sport Play of the day.
Off the grass, but right after that, Lakers, as Phil Jackson had a kidney stone removed, but that didn't stop the Lakers winning their 12th game in 14. Of course, Kobe was still key for them. He finished with a respectable 32 points and 6 rebounds, but the 40-point mark just proved a bridge too far. This was the first game Jackson had ever missed as a head coach, by the way, but he needn't have worried as his side won by 11. Houston's Yao Ming put on quite a show for his first visit to New York's Madison Square Garden. The big Chinese rookie thrilled the largely Asian sellout crowd with 24 points and 6 rebounds. And for most of the match, the Knicks just didn't have an answer for him. That is, until the last 3 minutes when Yao lost the ball twice, and that made all the difference. Latrell Sprewell made the most of his mistakes and scored these crucial baskets to give the Knicks a 7-point win.
His teammate Devin George had a night worthy of note. Check out this sensational effort of the inbounds. Have another look. Now, in the old days, shooting from behind the backboard was illegal, apparently. But today, that's not the case. So this one counted big time. Next to New York, where
Richardson trails the play down the floor, and just look at how sharp he is to follow up for a one-handed rebound slam. Richardson shows great instinct and athleticism to catch the ball and jam it home. His team would lose the game.
to push the Pacers to a 10-year low by inflicting a 6th straight defeat in the NBA. That and more after the break. And a look at some more. Gathers the loose ball, feeds Al Harrington for the slam. We're tied at 62 apiece. Same score. Celtics' Paul Pierce drives to the hole and will get the layup to fall and draw the foul, though he'd missed the free. Boston by 2. Now Indiana by 1. Celtics' Walter McCarty all alone in the corner, and he drains the 3 ball. Now Boston by 2. 4.4 seconds left in the game. Boston leading 71-69. Pacers' Reggie Miller is the go-to guy, but he shoots an air ball. So Boston had the win, 71-69, and that's the Pacers' first 6-game losing streak in 10 years. When off the miss, watch the Nuggets' Junior Harrington push the ball up, blow by Damon Stoudemire, and find Brazilian Nene Hilario for the jam. Take another look as Harrington leaves Stoudemire face down and floundering to set up the slam, and a world sport play of the day.
Had already lost twice to Sacramento this season. Despite having the best record in the NBA, the Kings have really got their number, and that must really hurt since Dallas dispatched them in 5 games in the Western Conference semis last season. This one went to the wire. Bobby Jackson taking on 3 of the Mavs and banking in a 3-ball to tie it up with just 20 seconds left. Dallas had the chance to finally get one over on the Kings when Steve Nash went up for a fadeaway jumper in regulation time, but he wouldn't fall, and so at 118 each, it went to overtime. And it was still tied with time running out. Mike Bibby went for a baseline jumper, an air ball, but Keon Clark was there to put it away with less than half a second to go. In a wild battle out west in the NBA, could Dallas finally get the better?
1,000 was played on the road in Portland. Blazers on the run in the 4th period. Derek Anderson to Ruben Patterson. The alley-oop is up and in. Blazers are up to double digits. Their lead is 10, but the Bucks cut into the lead behind who else? Payton. Look at the skip pass to Michael Redd, who buries the 3. Milwaukee is within 1. Now, Payton finds a slashing Sam Cassell for the layup. Payton with 9 assists on the night. The Bucks are out in front by 1. Payton also did his part with scoring as well. He knocks down 3 of his 22 points. Bucks hanging on till the very end. Blazers, though, down 3 with a chance to tie. Damon Stoudemire's 3-pointer is no good. Payton and the Bucks win on the road. Stick around. Plenty of familiar faces in the crowd as the Knicks entertain Orlando on this night. Late in overtime, Latrell Sprewell has a chance to win the game for the Knicks. Instead, it goes to double OT, tied at 103. This is when Sprewell got hot. Hitting a 3-pointer here, New York leads by 1, and then more from Spree. He would put down 28 on the Knights. Sprewell making sure it was a happy ending for Patrick Ewing at Madison Square Garden. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and the Los Angeles Lakers played in Seattle on Friday nights. Opening quarter, Kobe and Shaq look to dominate the game. Bryant with the steal, the dish to O'Neal. He finishes with authority. Then it's Bryant for three. It's good. Lakers on top. Before the first half, though, the Sonics took over and didn't look bad. Ray Allen for three. It's good. Time winding down in the half. Vladimir Radovanovic hits the three as the clock winds down. Allen to Brett Berry. That's a three-pointer. More from the newest Sonic, Ray Allen, with the reverse lay-in. As you can see, the trend was certainly against the Lakers on this night. Radovanovic with 18 points for the big Yugoslav as the Sonics win this one going away. Here are the Friday NBA tallies. True magician for the Magic, and here's another example. Look at him go up and under for the reverse layup. McGrady with poetry in motion. His team may have lost in Gotham, but McGrady picks up the world sport play of the day.
Dump it off at the last minute.
7, Tim Duncan hits the jumper, part of an 18-point, 15-rebound night. The story of the game, though, Tony Parker. Parker with a big three. He had 32, the Frenchman tying a career high. It's a big reason why the Spurs won this one by 8. Don Nelson's Dallas Mavericks wanted to halt a two-game slide as Memphis came calling. Off the turnover, Adrian Griffin finds Dirk Nowitzki. Nowitzki with authority. Mavs by 5 in the opening half. Second half, Grizz try to stay close. In fact, they are out in front. Paul Gasol knocks down the jumper. Grizzlies with a 7-point lead, but the big German would lead them back. In transition, Canadian Steve Nash. He leads it for Nowitzki with the behind-the-back pass. That's a three-pointer for Dirk. Another three as Nowitzki put down 28 on the night as the Mavericks win this one with ease. Here now a roundup of all of Saturday. Xavier down one in the closing seconds.
1 second left. Tip by West.
Do they get the tip to fall or not?
That will not go. It doesn't.
Xavier with a game-winning bucket, but check out the clock. It strikes 0, but the referees still consider it a bucket. It's the play
of his last gasp score that gave the Jazz the win over New Jersey when they last met in January, and it certainly was that close again. Andrei Kirilenko put the Jazz 2 ahead in the fourth, but with less than a minute to go, Kenyon Martin got his tough jumper to fall, and that put the Nets into a 1-point lead. The last chance fell to John Stockton. His jumper didn't quite make it, but Kirilenko just tipped it in before the buzzer to give Utah a 91-90 win. Our debut as LA took on a New Orleans team chasing their 7th straight win. But the coaching change seemed to work initially as Chris Wilcox and Corey Maggette showboated for the new man. Clippers 6 points up in the first quarter. But Johnson's debut was really spoiled by Jamal Mashburn. The Hornets forward led the scoring with 35 points. That three putting New Orleans 2 ahead, and they were able to pull away with plays like this scoop shot by Kenny Anderson. He scored 11 from the bench, but LA came back to make a game of it. Andre Miller scoring 21 points to pull the Clippers to within 2 of their opponents. A great drive and lay-in there, but he blew their big chance to win it. His three-pointer rimmed out, and the Hornets took this one by 3.